Hey, my name is attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III, and one of the things I'm going to be going through today are the difficulties one will face while recording in the car. I do disability tutorial videos in the car usually because I want to do SEO stuff. I also want to go ahead and basically reach out to people and help them understand how the disability process works, because keep in mind, a lot of these individuals that are trying to get on disability that really need to be on disability, they just don't understand the basics, and they hear all these rumors and they go by all those rumors, and they ultimately end up in this situation where they're miserable because they did something that violated something. Alright, so let's go ahead. I purposely left the normal noises and annoyances on today because I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the issues that I have while recording. Now, right now I'm using an iPhone 6s Plus 1080p, so full HD. In the background noise, you'll hear a clicking sound over and over. That is the sound of having, or basically the wheels of having a truck or, for example, a dolly. Okay, that's what I use to get my bins in and out of all these different offices, because I have kind of everything lined up the way I like it. Now, I'm also recording via an XLR cable out of an iRig Pro directly into a microphone. This microphone, which should be placed more like that, is set up as a hands-free by taking a boom mic's fitting here, which is like the end arm, attached to a drum microphone's clamp or clasp item. And then down here I have a radio microphone's little boom movable attachment piece. Then I have your classic Shure Beta stand clip. Then I have a Beta 57 microphone. And the reason I went with this Beta 57 microphone is because it cuts out a lot of the extra noise that you would traditionally hear. I originally started out with a KMR82i, which is like a much more expensive microphone. It's a shotgun microphone, which means that it only captures the sound that's directly in line with that mic. There's a problem. The higher the quality of the microphone you go in the small condenser or any of those types of microphones, the more sound you're going to hear, meaning the more detailed it is. So the kicker that I'm running into is that I had to use a gradient microphone because they don't really capture anything outside of a foot to a foot and a half to 2 feet in front of them. I specifically use this one because the other ones, the classic 57s, SM57s, you gotta be right up here, you gotta be right on the microphone. This one allows me a little bit more movement, and because of that, it allows me a little bit more grace to kind of get that sweet spot with talking and doing recordings. Now, there's a couple of things you need to know. Priuses, which is what I'm driving in right now, are traditionally very, very, very quiet vehicles. Okay, they're very quiet vehicles. You're not hearing an engine on, or if you are hearing an engine on, it's quieter. Okay. However, here's the kicker with that: they don't really seal them that well. So basically, when you're driving, you can hear a lot of the outside noise. You can hear a lot of the outside cars going by, the sound of the road on the tires, all that stuff. And the problem with that is that at the end of the day, you end up still with a very noisy environment. Now, there's some things to watch out for when trying to record videos. Of course, for me, it's disability tutorial videos. One of the big things you want to watch out for is battery life. So, for example, the iRig Pro has been pretty good. The battery life lasts a pretty good long while. The iPhone 6s Plus will, last a while. It's pretty good. But when you get to that 20% marker on the iPhone, it automatically shuts off video recording, which for me is a big bad no-no. Okay? The next thing you gotta watch out for is that I record videos in Florida, and the dashboard gets really, really hot, which means that on this weird little contraption I have that holds the actual phone, the camera or the phone will basically overheat while recording inside of its case, which is an OtterBox case. And then the phone will automatically shut down the video. So what did I do to fix that? Well, what I did to fix that was that I got one of those little Kumis phone holders. It clips onto a vent, and I clip the phone directly onto the vent when I'm not doing it in the big holder, and that basically puts AC air conditioning directly on the phone, and then you can record until basically the phone runs out of memory. Okay. Obviously, for my purposes, I bought the 128 gigabyte phone because the bottom line is I'm shooting HD videos, and you wouldn't believe how quickly I hit 5K or 5 gigabyte, 10 gigabyte videos. When I shoot 4K videos, it uses up the memory like nothing. Now, there's another thing you need to watch out for, which is that when you're recording videos, sometimes the videos will automatically get duplicated inside the, photo viewing area for videos. So when that happens, play each one, make sure each one plays all the way through by just, checkpoint, 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 checkpoint. And then after that, go ahead and just delete one of them. All right. Those are some of the issues that I've experienced with having to shoot in the car. And another thing is, how do you pay attention to shooting the video while paying attention to, driving the car? It's really simple. You just ignore the video. You just talk as if you were talking on the phone. And when you first start doing that, you want to constantly stare into the camera. But pretty quickly you adjust and you realize that it's just a camera there and you're just kind of driving. A lot of people now clip their iPhone to, this or a vent or the steering wheel even, which I think is retarded because, well, I don't want to say retarded, but I think is a very poor choice because when you move it, the phone's going to be moving. I will say this, and a lot of people haven't realized this yet, and I'm not sure why, because it is on a lot of the, online yada yadas. When it comes down to using the iPhone 6s Plus versus the iPhone 6s, the 6s Plus has the added feature, other than it just being a bigger phone with a lesser battery, of basically going forth and having auto stabilization built into it, which allows you to, in my opinion, in the car, shoot a better video. Now, I have to kind of push that phone and jam it up into the corner of the car where the glass is, and the side of the car, because it stabilizes the phone a little bit better. And the problem that you run into with that is that the moment it starts to push out of that position, you get all these little vibrations of what the car is doing, because remember, the phone's sitting up pretty high on a stand, and the higher up the stand it goes, whether you're using a monopod or a tripod or a quad pod or whatever pod, no matter what you do, okay, this phone basically will start to vibrate and jiggle more easily because it's higher up. It's kind of like a car that has, or let's say a car that's low to the ground versus a truck with those, really big tires. If the truck has huge tires, it's more easily capable of flipping over. All right. My name is Attorney Walter Hnot. Those are some of the things I do for shooting in the car. Some of them may help you, some of them may not. The reason I made this video is so that other people can, in the future, pretty much go forward and make other great content that people can watch. YouTube is kind of becoming the new TV, which is really cool, but it also has some, negatives that go with that. Obviously, somebody shooting a video in the car 10 years from now won't be acceptable quality for somebody essentially trying to learn something. Everybody will have a TV film set built into, their house when they want to shoot videos, and that's fine. That's good. That's the future. Either way, I just wanted to catch up with you, let you know. I hope all is well. We'll catch up from there, and you have a wonderful day. All right? Thanks so much. Bye-bye.